I'm gonna show you how to use the new Zinedine Zidane aka Y.Grimault formation. Let's go. Be sure to subscribe to my channel as I upload new PES 2020 mobile content every week. Don't forget to turn on our post notification and leave a nice comment down below, as that helps to keep me motivated. So the other day I saw that there was a new formation for Zidane, who is the manager for Real Madrid. His formation is a 4-3-3 flat or a 4-1-2-3 with two centre mid forwards and a defensive mid forward, with the option to change everything to centre mid forwards or to all defensive mid forwards. It all depends on your preference. It's a counter-attacking formation with short passes, wide attacks, frontline pressure, and aggressive pressuring. This formation relies on you getting your wingers behind your opponent's fullbacks as quickly as possible, whether it's by short, quick passes or some long passes from defenders to attackers. This then enables them to dribble at an angle to create a scoring opportunity or a cross to and a waiting forward in the box. This formation naturally forces your wingers to be as high as possible, which allows for you to have more players while attacking. But this can also be very detrimental in your defending, because with so many players high up, that means that you have a lot of space behind, and if your opponents are playing with overlapping wing backs or persons on each wings, then you can be caught off guard and a counter can be rendered, for your defenders to be, let's say, instead of 2 versus 1, in your favor it's going to be like 3 versus 2. And I mean 3 versus 2 means that one person with the ball has 2 options to pass the ball by, and somebody has to be marking that one person with the ball, if not both. And if both of them are marking you with the ball, then you know what that means: a 1-on-1 chance or a 2-on-1 chance on the keeper. And that rarely ends well unless the person just can't really shoot. But nonetheless, if you realize that you're continuously getting slapped on the counter, what you need to do is actually just change the center mid forward, one of your center mid forwards, that is, to defensive mid forward. That basically enables for another player to stay behind and not be that involved in the attack. So they're going to act as the first line of defense. So as soon as your opponent starts attacking on the wings, your defensive mid forwards, as long as your wingers are, let's say they're still up, haven't run back as yet, your defensive mid forwards will do the dirt. So it will help you to concede less goals, or to not concede that many counter attacks at least. You will need some pacey wingers with 3 things: good dribbling, decent crossing, and good finishing. Such wingers can be Neymar, Mane, Salah, Messi, Gnabry, Cristiano Ronaldo, etc. You just need to find the winger that really works for you, because at the same time you can use a roaming flank winger, or you can use a prolific winger. So it all depends. Just know that depending on the type of winger that you choose, you need to adjust to their playing style. So if it's a roaming flank, then obviously you know how to play with a roaming flank versus a prolific winger who like to call it the ball, cut in and shoot. The thing is that roaming flanks usually have good or decent crossing abilities, while prolific wingers aren't really that, so it just all depends on who you choose. Because if you choose Cristiano Ronaldo, you'll more want to dribble inside with the ball to score than to cross the ball, because it's going to be 50-50. Maybe the crosses go over, maybe the crosses don't. So that's where your wing backs come into play, as they overlap and they have pinpoint crossing, then they can cross the ball properly. So it just all depends on that. Your striker now must be a poacher or a fox in the box. This is a striker who acts off the shoulder of the last defender or lurks in the box waiting for a pass to score. The striker must have a decent heading and good finishing. I personally prefer to use Marcus Rashford because I know how to use him. A lot of persons have Rashford and consider him to be trash or whatever. Yes, maybe he's trash for you, but he's really good for me. I know his strengths and weaknesses, I know what he's capable of. So if you have a one striker that his stats aren't really that good, or most persons don't really use him, but you tend to score a lot of goals with him, and he's a poacher or a fox in the box, use him. Because I can do with Rashford what I can't do with Lukaku, who's a fox in the box. I can do with Rashford what I can't do with Harry Kane, and Harry Kane is a poacher. You get what I'm trying to say? Even though their stats are better and they're more balanced, because at the end of the day, Harry Kane can head the ball, so if I swing it in wide, he has a better chance of scoring it than Rashford. I still prefer to use Rashford. Harry Kane makes amazing runs, so does Rashford. I just prefer to use Rashford because I know how to use him. I know that it's a 50-50, especially when there's an empty goal with Rashford. He may miss. I know that Rashford's first touch isn't the best, but I still know how to use him. I know how to score with Rashford, so everybody has their preferred player. So that's just my preferred player. You can use Lukaku, Harry Kane, you can even use Cristiano Ronaldo in centre forward, you can use Morientes, you can use Del Piero, you can use Romini, Van Basten, anybody that you want to use. For midfield now, your centre mid forwards are going to be an orchestrator and a box-to-box player. The orchestrator is there to initiate attacks if you're having possession of the ball, and it's necessarily not a counter-attack. Basically, he's the one that starts up the play, because if you're not really if it's not a counter-attack that you're performing with the side and you're basically building up like it's a possession-based manager style, then you're going to need somebody to make that decisive pass to get you into attacking. Because majority of players won't really respond to attacking unless it's a pass and go or you're in the counter-attacking phase of the game. The box-to-box now just acts as another helping handy wherever what you're doing. So basically, if you're attacking, he's up there. If you're defending, he's down there. So somebody like Pogba or Saul, yes, that is the guy for you. Orchestrator now can be Cruz or Scholes or anybody with orchestrator trait. Just check it out. It's very simple to check out which midfielder is what. The defensive midfield now, it doesn't really need to be any specific person, because you have Anchorman, you have Destroyer. It doesn't really matter. You just need somebody with good interception and good defensive skills and high stamina, because you need somebody who can run the entire game and defend the entire game. But you also need somebody who can be involved in set pieces. Like Fabinho and Vieira, they're good at heading. I think Fabinho is 85 heading, while Vieira is 93. This is the legend card Vieira, not the icon of my version, and the Fabinho is the club selection version. So obviously if you have a different version from me, it may vary, but I still use them in my corners, so they can be used there, but they're very good defensively. If you have a defensive mid that doesn't have the interception trait, I wouldn't recommend using him. Like PNH really, he's poor in my opinion. I prefer to use him as a centre midfield, not as a defensive midfield, because he does not really intercept that well. But at the same time, as I say, everybody knows how to use a player differently. So maybe I just know to use maybe I don't know how to use PNH. The centre backs just need to have good interception skills, man marking trait, and good heading to prevent the overtop passes. They also need to be quick. I prefer to use a combination of extra frontman and build-up play. That combo is usually Ramos and Varane, but you can use Yerry Mina in place of Ramos and use Van Dijk, Skriniar, Sar, etc. in place of Varane. Because in the game, there are a lot of build-up play. Centre-backs, I just love to use Varane because Varane comes in clutch for me. You can use your 100 Delete or your 90, I think it's 98 rated Van Dijk. You can use any build-up play player that you want. You can use Sar for all I care. You get what I'm trying to say? As long as he works for you, use him. To me, certain build-up play players shouldn't even be in the game. Like Harry Maguire, one of the worst build-up play players, but I've seen him defend my attacks from other persons. So as I say, just maybe I don't know how to use him. You get what I'm trying to say? You don't really need a specific keeper, but I usually go with an offensive goalkeeper because they charge out when the over-the-top balls come or through balls that passes your defense. But like the thing is, that can also result in a goal as well, because if they come out wrong or they come out too late, it can always get chipped or shifted out or whatever. I've seen it happen to me before. It can happen to you. My wing backs now, you can use Roberto Carlos or Cafu. That's what I usually use. But I've decided to start using some of the feature players that they've given me because I want to test out new players. Every single time that I make a manager review, I'm always using Roberto Carlos and Cafu. So I decided to use Wan-Bissaka or Trent on the right, or this new person that I got, Balotore and Amari. The thing is that you just need a wing back with good defensive skills as well as good crossing traits. So that's why I use them basically. Yeah. So that's basically how you want to use them. Hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Road to 800. I'm out.